Hello YouTube! My name is Dr. Reading and welcome to CRDR, Comic Reviews with Dr. Reading. Are you ready to hear about a new comic to read? I'm excited to present it to you, so let's get right into it.
Title and author.
Alright, on today's episode we are reviewing The Far Side by Gary Larson.
Publication date.
The Far Side, as you can see from the previous image of the 2-volume collection I have, it first started printing in 1980, and it ran for 15 years. Well, 13 years, 11 months, because there was at one point Mr. Larson took a 1-year sabbatical, and then came back, and then near the tail end of his career he took a month-long vacation, so yeah.
Comic rating.
I want to say the comic is rated E for everyone, but there's like some jokes that are maybe like a little older kids, like maybe 13, 14 years old, but yeah. Generally it's a family comic, very funny.
How I learned about the comic.
Oh boy, let's see. Honestly, I don't know how I came to learn about The Far Side. My best guess is I maybe saw a desk calendar or something, because the newspaper that I had for the comics, it did not carry The Far Side in its initial run. And I think it was like maybe 10 years ago, give or take, they did a reprinting of some of the comics of The Far Side in my newspaper, but then they went up and disappeared. So yeah. I want to say like it was a calendar, and then I discovered the collected volumes, and lucky for me, 1 year for the winter holidays, I actually got the 2 hardcover bound editions of The Far Side, so love it.
The plot.
Okay, so like normally when I review a comic, it has like a plot, like because it's a condensed finite story, but this is like, I think this is my first newspaper comic, and I think the plot is gag a day. It's like random funniness. This is like, I guess this would be pre-Robot Chicken. It like made fun of like 1 or 2 specific real world things, but most of the time it was just like self-contained little stories of awkwardness where like you see, oh, here's a caveman doing something, or oh, here comes a cow, and oh, here's an alien. It did stuff that was randomly funny, and sure it took maybe a jab or two at 1 or 2 things, but overall it was just its own self-contained funny, and I loved it.
The good, the bad, and the info.
Alright, so like I said, this comic had a 15-year series of sorts, and like I said, discovered it from comics and from calendars and collections. I loved The Far Side, it was hilarious. Gary Larson, here's what, the reason I decided to do this one was for, I think last year I wrote Gary Larson a letter. I asked, it's been a while since he officially retired in 1995, I thought, the world needs The Far Side. We need more of the laughter, the funny, the women with the horn-rimmed glasses, the nerdy kid. We need more funny like that. And then, imagine, lo and behold, to my surprise, Gary Larson actually started thefarside.com. Now here's the interesting thing. Gary Larson, at one point in an open letter, asked his fans to please be respectful of his work, and he said, please do not put my comics online. I do not consent to this, please do not. Some people did it, as he put it, begrudgingly, and some people did it because of the amount of respect and humor they have for this man and the amount of humor that he's given us. So, yeah, that was pretty cool how he just did an open letter for that. And then it was cool how now we have thefarside.com. It was interesting reading him coming back into the digital online age. And relatively recently, this was big. He published a couple of brand new he published 2 new images and 3 new comics. This was great. Now, it's not a full return to The Far Side, oh, we're gonna get the daily funnies again, haha, but still, he's made some new stuff. He openly said on his website that, aside from, the only time he ever picked up a pen was to draw for the holiday card during winter, but he hadn't drawn since like 95, so. The best part was, he said, he acquired like a tablet device to try to do the high-tech drawing of The Far Side, and he said with this high-tech device, the first thing he drew was a caveman. It's come full circle, it's hilarious, so yeah. If you haven't read The Far Side, I highly recommend it. It is very funny. There's some stuff that's like, huh? And there's like, I think only 2 comics that Gary Larson himself admits that he's not too fond of how they turned out. He also did some works like There's a Hair in My Dirt, The Curse of Madam C. He did one trick collection which was the art of, it was like I think it was called The Art of Wiener Dogs, and like somewhere in the middle of the book there was several paintings done in the Far Side style, but like the main subject matter was featuring wiener dogs, little dogs inside. It's a very funny thing. You have to read it. It is, the Far Side is very funny. You have to give it a shot. And with the 2 volume thing, at one point in high school, we had to do we had to do the biography of an author, and because I had the hardcover books, I did my report on Gary Larson. Because in the hardcover books, he actually talks a little bit about his life, about him being a kid, growing up, some of the stuff he's interacted with and done. It was pretty cool, very informative.
Score out of 7 stars.
As you can tell from my previous segment of gushing, I love The Far Side, and Gary Larson did great work. So I am proud to give The Far Side 7 stars. If you haven't read it, quit listening to me gab. Go to thefarside.com, see some of the stuff that he's posted today, see some of the new stuff he's made, or if not, go out and find like a physical bookstore or go online and look for a physical book, because the books are hilarious. Sure, you get like a 1 square comic. Some of them are black and white, some are, you have the Sunday colored ones, but overall it is all great. The Far Side is hilarious. And I highly recommend it, so check Gary Larson out. And that's all the time we have for this review. Until next time, this has been CRDR, Comic Reviews with Dr. Reading. I'm assistant to Dr. Gary. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a nice day.